Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and pleasure to invite a great man, an erudite scholar, a pride to our university, a historian, a public affairs analyst, a great ambassador, a man with a high level of intellectual and administrative sagacity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the very erudite, handsome, university orator, Professor Eddie Eragbe, to introduce the guest lecturer. Most beloved Vice Chancellor, Professor F.F.O. Onrowesen, double fellowship, both of the Society of Engineers and the Society of Environmental Practitioners in Nigeria. I greet you, sir. Permit me at this stage to humbly invite this towering personality in our midst to stand up without necessarily intimidating us for us to take his oration and brief citation. A brief citation on engineer Dr. Chris Ogiemwonyi. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished guests, today's historic Founders Day lecture. It is my rare privilege to present to you a highly respected and honored guest lecturer of today, Engineer Chris Ogiemwonyi, Doctor of Engineering, PhD, honorary causa, and Doctor of Science, PhD, honorary causa, a most distinguished alumnus of the greatest University of Benin. A man of gargantuan and intimidating accomplishments in the service to our country, especially in the petroleum industry. A former Group Executive Director, GED, of Exploration and Production Directorate of NNPC. A former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A technocrat par excellence, an uncompromising stigma for probity, accountability, and transparency. A man who, for his unblemished record of service in both public and private life, has merited the appellation Mr. Integrity. A man who has a burning and insatiable desire to serve his people, and therefore aspire gallantly and uncompromisingly in a sagacious and courageous manner to be the governor of Edo State in the just concluded 2016 gubernatorial elections in our state. A community developer that has invested a lot in providing facilities for his community. A great lover and defender of Benin culture and values. And a man who, for his sterling accomplishments, holds 2 honorary doctorate degrees of the Benin University, Okada, and Ambrose Ali University, Ekoma. A man of great poise and charismatic presence, Engineer Chris Ogiemwonyi. Mr. Chairman, sir, Engineer Ogiemwonyi was born on 21st March 1951 and paternally hails from Idumebo and maternally from Ubegele, both in Orion local government area of Edo State. He attended Igbesawan Primary School, Benin City, from where he finished in 1964 and went on to the Great Western Boys High School, Benin City, from where he obtained his West African School certificate in 1969. Same school attended by our own equally great former Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogiemwonyi. He is a graduate of the greatest University of Benin, from where he bagged a BSc Honours degree in Applied Physics with option in Electronics. To proper study himself to operate in the petroleum sector of the Nigerian economy, he obtained a postgraduate diploma in petroleum engineering in 1976. A socialite and politically conscious and active student in his days in UNIBEN, he was a member of the Students' Union Congress and contested for the post of president of the Students' Union government. And yet, to conclude my research on whether he won the election or not, I'm planning and applying to the URPC for a small research grant to conclude the research. It is, however, confirmed that Engineer Chris belonged to the celebrated Clover Club and became the head of Expo 9, a body of the major clubs in UNIBEN then, including the Clover Club, Scomit, among others. He has remained a jolly good fellow. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, Engineer Dr. Chris started his career at the Ministry of Petroleum Resources in 1975. He started as an engineer too with the Conservation Department. In February of 1977, he was seconded to SPDC, Shell Petroleum Development Company, Warri. This cross-posting was enriched by a 4.5-month advanced petroleum engineering program in SPDC Training Center in The Hague, Netherlands. Between 1978 through 1982, he worked in various departments of the Petroleum Resources Ministry, including the then newly created Gas Department. Between 1982 and 1988, he worked in the Exploration and Exploitation Division of NNPC, and in 1985 transferred to the National Reserves Evaluation Project as project leader, coordinated all efforts in Dallas, United States of America, in establishing a stronger database for the oil and gas industry of our country. However, in 1988, he was moved back to the Exploitation Division of the Exploration and Exploitation as head Petroleum Engineering Department Company to nurture the newly created Petroleum Engineering Department. In 1988, when the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company was incorporated, one of its objectives was to compete as an indigenous oil and gas producing company. NPDC was assigned 4 acreages, including OMNL 65, containing a boring field, then producing at 980 barrels per day. He championed the takeover of this asset, kept an up-to-date reserves position of the new company, served as the Aboring Field project leader. This was a takeover asset from defunct Teneco, and he raised the production level from 980 to over 4,000 by 1990. As distinguished lecturer of today, in 1992, served as Oredo Field project leader. This was a greenfield project that involved Kert Energy UK and IP Constructors Calgary, Canada. The project was an early engineering, procurement, construction, as well as operations of 10,000 barrels per day early production facility, and is today being expanded to produce more. He also served as Ozingbe Field leader. This is another 10,000 barrel per day facility at Ozingbe Field. In 1999, he was promoted General Manager, Operations, and moved to National Petroleum Investment Management Services, to oversee the operations division. He midwifed various projects and concepts, especially the local content initiative of the federal government. By dint of hard work, he was appointed the Group General Manager, NAPIMS, in 2001. As GCGM, NAPIMS, he overlooked the whole industry, including the joint ventures, the JV, and the production sharing companies. While in NAPIMS, he served as chairman, Nigeria OTC Committee for 2002 and 2003. Between 1999 and 2003, he midwifed key projects, including EA Field, ERA Field, Bonga Field, Agbama Field, amongst others, which unfortunately have become targets of the current militancy in the Niger Delta. He was also to work to help to achieve zero cash calls between 2003. As GGM, NAPIMS, the oil industry was encouraged on joint utilization of assets such as offshore rigs. Engineer Ogiemwonyi is well noted and celebrated for his achievements while in NPIMS, being referred to as Mr. Local Content, the harbinger and the champion of a major component of what is now today known as the Petroleum Industry Bill, the PIB. In 2005, he was reassigned to Nigerian Gas Company Limited as managing director. His focus was to increase gas supply to major customers such as then the PHCN, SNG, GasLink, Wamco Shagamu, and Ewekoro, the Notoro Fertilizer Plant in Port Harcourt, Obajana Cement Company, amongst others. He coordinated a number of these projects that were now to result in the supply of gas to Benin, Togo, Ghana, and hopefully eventually to Cote d'Ivoire. A technocrat par excellence, he has attended several local and international courses, a product of the Harvard Business School. Between 2007 and April 2009, he was the Executive Director, Petroleum Exploration and Production, and he was in charge of 7 NNPC companies and subsidiaries, which included National Petroleum Investment Management Services Limited, IDSL, Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, Crude Oil Marketing Division, and Local Content Division. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, after a very distinguished career, our guest lecturer today retired on 7th April 2009. He went briefly into consulting, and remarkably, on the 1st anniversary of his retirement, he was appointed a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on 9th April 2010. He was assigned as Minister of State Works, and this ministry was responsible for constructing new roads as well as maintaining existing road infrastructure across Nigeria. Materials for road construction and maintenance were subjected to newly established research and development unit to reduce road failure in the country. He was also ensured that mandatory contractor supervision schedule was introduced to ensure compliance with ministry contractor standards, and he encouraged private sector participation through public-private partnership, PPP, as well as brought about the reintroduction of tolling policy in 2010. The Highway Design Department was strengthened to eliminate sectional failures of the roads network. After his ministerial sojourn, he has since returned to full consulting business in the energy and engineering sector. On this note, he helped to establish the Energy and Engineering Technology Consulting Limited that has been in operations since 2001 to 2016, of which he is the President and Chief Executive Officer. This body was conceived as both a think tank and an entrepreneurial vehicle to add value across the whole value chain of the energy and engineering sector. It was incorporated in April of 2010. Their strength lies in the fact that there are 5 key shareholders supporting workforce possess a cumulative experience well over 100 years in the global energy and engineering industry. He has been blessed to help Nigeria as he has been appointed at different times into boards, including serving on the board of the PACN, the former council member of PTI Warri, and chairman Engr, was also a former director, NECT Kodasman, one-time board member of NigerMed, served as a member, Presidential Committee on IPP Development, served as a member of NNPC Corporate Body, and chairman of Hyson Clessing JV. He was also a member of the Presidential Committee on Accelerated Expansion of Electricity Infrastructure. Chris Ogiemwonyi belongs to many professional bodies, including the Society of Petroleum Engineers. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a former president of the Nigerian Gas Association. A recipient of the Justice of Peace, JP by Edo State Government, and the Kwame Nkrumah Leadership Award. He is patron to several bodies, including NANS, the National Association of Nigerian Students. Greatest Nigerian students. He is also a patron to the Association of Community Newspaper Developers, Publishers of Nigeria. Engineer Chris Osa Ogiemwonyi, who is looking so well, is blessed with a wife, Lady Joy Ogiemwonyi, and is blessed with many children. A man that believes in God. He is a knight of St. Christopher of the Anglican Communion. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is this very illustrious and most distinguished alumnus of the University of Benin, an engineer, a technocrat par excellence, a man that works with diligence, commitment, dedication, and uncommon passion, a man of impeccable and untarnished track record of service to our motherland, Mr. Integrity himself, an emerging political juggernaut in the Nigerian political landscape, Engineer Dr. Chris Ogiemwonyi, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, Justice of Peace, Knight of St. Christopher, that are now respectfully invited to deliver this year's Founders Lecture entitled Hard Times for These Times, the Think Factory Guide to Action. Engineer Ogiemwonyi, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My topic is hard times for these times. Think with regard to action.